Life Goes On, or Does It? Volume 2. This and its predecessor are actually from the book The Haunting of Lancaster. The town of Lancaster, where the Newmans now reside, was once a thriving coal mining community with a population of well over 100,000 people. But since the coal mine ceased production some 40 years ago, the town has become a mere hamlet. Most of its now 30,000 plus residents survive either by working mediocre jobs or off retirement incomes that they've earned elsewhere. The prosperity that once dominated the region is now nothing more than a fading memory, substantiated only by deteriorating relics of the old Bradbury Coal Company. Things such as the old mine shaft, the ramshackle washhouses, and the long-dead owner's massive estate. But their dilapidated condition is evidence that the prosperity that once existed here exists no longer. The Bradbury Mansion, which was once the retreat of the social elite, has now become a place of desolation spoken of only in ghost stories. Its only visitors these days are random groups of kids trying to prove their bravery. But today it has another visitor. Standing just to the east of the old mansion in a small grove of trees is a well-dressed young man in his mid-30s, watching the house with intense interest. "So there you are. It's been a while," the man says apparently to the estate. "I knew we'd eventually meet again." "Come on, Davy, either go in or you're a chicken." Three boys between the ages of 12 to 14 approach the old house from the north, walking up the overgrown driveway, and then warily approach the foot of the old stairs, trying to coax a younger boy of about 10 to go inside the old house. "I'm not a chicken," the younger boy screams, almost panic-stricken. "That place is haunted. Either you go in, or you're not in our club," the oldest and apparently most dominant boy says threateningly. Davy looks at the old house, not really knowing what to do. He really wants the acceptance of these older boys, but at the same time, the thought of going in that old house scares him to death. In desperation, he asks timidly, "So you guys have all been in there before?" "Well, no," John, the oldest boy, says. "We didn't have to." "Why didn't you have to?" Davy demands. "Because we started the club. Now either get in there or go home," John says indignantly. Davy, wiping tears from his eyes, starts walking up the old mansion's steps. "What are they doing?" the stranger says under his breath, still watching from the anonymity of the trees. As Davy reaches the top of the porch, the well-dressed stranger steps from the shadows in order to stop him from going inside. But before he can reveal himself, the door bursts open, and the sound of what seems like 100 voices screaming in agony echo from inside the house. For a split second, the stranger seems paralyzed, but then he steps back, aghast at what he's just heard. "What am I getting myself into?" the young man wonders to himself. But then his fear is replaced by a feeling of indignation as he hears the screams and sees the three older boys scatter in every direction, leaving Davy running down the steps 2 at a time, crying all the way. "I've got to stop this thing before someone else gets hurt," the stranger mumbles to himself as he bows his head. For some strange reason, whatever it is that's inside the old estate never gives chase. It seems content with the fear that it has inflicted, at least for the moment. As the boys disappear from sight, the sound of screaming is soon replaced by the sound of laughter, insidious, evil laughter. "Laugh now, you devil, because I assure you that your laughter will soon come to an end," the young man proclaims as he leaves his hiding place and slowly walks back down the old driveway, leaving the property.